Hello. I realized as I was editing that I don't have a video explaining kind of a big important part in my life related to my sonography. So I do remember filming the video, but I think it got deleted somewhere. It was very emotional, it was very raw, it was very and I kind of wish that I had kept it. I don't really know what happened to it, but I just know that I don't have it anymore. So a little explaining is that for my clinical, we have to, this year was a mess, but basically you have to kind of like interview at different locations and then rank which location you liked for like teaching style and everything. And then they do it on their side too. They rank the students of like who they like the best, who will fit into their teaching style and how they do things. And so I did it, and again, this year was a mess. This year was just horrible, horribly laid out, horribly done. Nobody got what they wanted. It was kind of just like, there you go. So that leads to me getting the whole process of me getting a place that I didn't really want. So the whole thing started is that you have to do 7 months, more or less, of clinical rotation once you finish your spring semester. And so I now, at this point in time, am finished. Well, I have 2 days. But I'm more or less finished with my spring semester. At that time, we started in the beginning of the semester year, in winter semester. She was like, if you want to pick your own clinical site, do it now so you're in line for clinicals, because like paperwork and like everything. I'm like, okay, I want to pick my own clinical site because I didn't really trust the system. And so I wanted to go to Virginia because I have some family in Virginia that I could stay with while I did my clinical rotation. And my, at the time, clinical coordinator / echo teacher was like, yes, perfect, do it. And it was a big hospital. It was a name hospital. It's MCV or VCU. And she did all the contacting of them, of being like, hey, we have a student. Can she do a clinical rotation there? And I started the process too of like filling out the paperwork, getting people's numbers, and then she did the dirty work of like doing all the paperwork and stuff. So that was fine up until, what was it? Spring semester? Summer semester? I don't know. I think it was summer semester. I don't remember. No, spring. I started that in winter semester, went through summer, and then in spring semester, in May, you find your clinical spots. So a little trouble came before because the, what's it called? The travel time, communication time, I don't know. Commute, that's the word, commute. The commute came up as a potential problem. And it was an hour commute, which is normal for some people in the Virginia area because of traffic and everything. And I already drive half an hour to school, so another hour or half an hour wouldn't be too much for me personally. So I did tell her like where I would be living, it would be at least, or at most, it was at most half at most an hour commute. And she kind of just, she was like, no. Not really no, but like, she was kind of, in my opinion, trying to make me not do it, because she didn't like that it was an hour commute. And she's like, you're already working an 8-hour day. You don't want to make that turn into a 10-hour day driving there and driving back. And I'm like, okay, I'll think about it. I really want to stay with this or not. And so I thought about it. I talked to my mom and the family living in Virginia, and they were like, you should trust her, she knows what she's doing. If she doesn't think it's good, let's back out of it. So I went to her and I saw her next, and I was like, I thought about it, and I think it's probably best to not do it. She's like, okay. And in hindsight, she kind of, now that I think about it, she kind of seemed a little excited that I wasn't doing it. So then then I'm back at like, well, I get what I get. And over the course of the next few weeks, not right after, but I did eventually like tell her, like, you know, I'm living with my parents. I can't move out. I myself do not have any way to support myself. I would appreciate if you get me a close location. Because me thinking is like, okay, if you're like upset about giving me a 1-hour commute, you better not give me more than an hour commute, because that's just kind of ballsy. Not even ballsy, it's just like in your face. So over the course of the next few weeks, till like the second week of May, she on different occasions kept coming up to me and was saying like, I just want to make sure, you signed something that said, you could be placed elsewhere and have to move out. And because she kept telling me that, I'm like, she's gonna give me one far away. I already know it. So at that point I was like, I'm screwed. And if anything school has taught me, it's to not get your hopes up, because they're gonna fuck you over. It's very true. So at that point I was like, Mom, I have this feeling she's gonna fuck me over. Mom's like, no, she's your teacher. If she didn't advise you to do a 1-hour commute, she shouldn't give you more than an hour commute. So yeah, then the announcements come out and I get a 2-hour commute from where I live. Thanks. So then I was really upset when I found that out, and then I filmed the video, which I don't know where it went. That's probably a good thing. So that was filmed right before I found out, or right after I found out, and I didn't like film anything else after that. There's more that happened. So I have 2 teachers. One teaches echo, one teaches vascular. The echo person was the clinical coordinator as well as the echo teacher. Clinical coordinator is the person you go to if anything happens during your clinical rotation. If you have questions or if something happens, just ask them. So she played 2 roles. And so where was I? So then at that time I was taking my boards, because the first 2 weeks of May was the break, but I used it to study for my boards, and like 3 days before the break ended, I took my board and I passed. Thank God. But that happened the same week I found out that I was placed 2 hours away. And another thing that school has taught me is that, stuff like that before would derail me, and just my mind would start overthinking things and I would panic. Just wasn't pretty. But I pushed that aside at that time and said, I have to do my boards, I have to pass my boards. And I did. And then I had to focus on that. So after I passed my boards, then my teacher was like giving us a little overview of what the next few months was gonna give. And so I found out my echo teacher / clinical coordinator resigned after they did that process. So it was kind of a conflict of emotions because I liked her as a teacher, but at that time I was really upset and angry and kind of hurt by what she did because I feel like it was personal. And over the course of the semester, I just felt like it was a little bit personal. Everything was a little bit personal. And so I didn't say anything to the vascular teacher who had to take over Echo and who was like the leader. She's the leader for this class. Not the class, but like this program I'm in. I didn't say anything to her because I thought she knew the conversation that happened and what went on. And I was just under the impression that she knew. She didn't. Apparently, my Echo teacher, I wouldn't say lied, but she didn't tell what actually happened to my vascular teacher, which is great. Really makes me feel good because basically the situation is I want to go somewhere. She wants me to go to the same space. It's at most an hour commute. She says no. I say, okay, I trust you in this because you're more educated than I am. She gives me a 2-hour commute. I'm under the impression this other person knows. Turns out she didn't say she did not say anything. She told her that I backed out. I didn't back out. I backed out because you told me to, basically. And then you jumped ship. So, that happened in May. It took me probably 2 months to really accept it. And I will say I was really, and I still am, I'm really mad about everything that happened. It was a shit show. It was horrible. So, that brings me, it was probably June, I think June, that I met with my Echo, now temporary Echo teacher. And I told her why I was feeling upset. I was meeting with her for a different reason, to go over an exam. And then I started asking her about the placement and stuff. And I expressed to her my emotions and my opinions of what happened. And I told her, hey, this teacher, this is how this went. And she was like, oh my God, I had no idea. But she also could feel like something was going on the other side. And so it's just frustrating being a student when there's conflict with your parents and then one of them leaves. And so I thought the summer semester or the spring semester was hard. Summer semester was pretty rough because through this whole COVID thing, then you have the feelings of kind of being personalized, not personalized, but like kind of targeted a little bit in one class. And you're trying to like keep your grades up and everything and just be a good student and everything. And then you're trying to communicate with your teacher and like everything, and you trust her, and then she kind of smacks you in the face. And then you have to deal with that because nobody else in my class has to move. I'm the only one that has to move. There was another student who got 3 hours away, and they did not have any means to support themselves, and they dropped. If I didn't have my resources, I would not be here. I think it's a horrible, horrible thing to do. These students are paying tens of thousands of dollars to go to your school, and you make them move, uproot themselves from everything that they know, make them pay for moving an apartment, everything to live for 7-ish months, and provide them nothing besides student loans, which makes you in debt. I think that is shit. I think that's horrible that you make them sign that thing agreeing that you can't at them for doing that to you. That's my opinion. I think it's horrible. I think they need to change it. I think they need to stop doing that. I think they themselves need to find other ways to do that. I think they need to find other local places, because there are places that will take student sonographers. A lot of the schools are just kind of, and they don't want to mix. So that's my opinion. As a student, as somebody who's they're doing this to, not fun. I will tell you, not fun. Really. So I am not upset at the site itself. I really like the site I am at from my little experience so far there. I do have the mindset that there is a reason why I'm here, a purpose. I just really do not like how I got it. I think it's sleazy, and I am still angry and upset at a certain person for doing it. There has been like speculation that they did it because I was already planning to move out. Yeah, so that's what happened at clinical. It's a mess. So that's all I really can say right now, besides lovely things. I thought I should explain that to you because it's a life changer. It kind of really shows you how people are. I will be moving. I've been trying to film a little bit of my moving process. I haven't officially moved yet. I'm packing, basically. I have 2 more days left of school, then I'm done. Could talk about another teacher, which I have to deal with, but I'm not going to because she's not a clinical coordinator. 2 more days. Can I survive 2 more days? So that's it for this video. Not video, segment. That's what happened at clinical. It's a mess. Be careful. It really kind of shows you not really to trust anybody, which is sad, but you have to stick up for yourself. Stick up for yourself, and you have to fight for yourself because ain't nobody gonna fight for you. So there you go. Have fun. Enjoy. Update you in the next one.